The musicians are about to start.
Yeah. Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova, and a warm welcome to everyone, BJ members, and all those who are joining us from near and from far. In normal times, our sanctuary is filled to capacity, and one can feel the joy of our coming together to welcome a new year. But this is not a normal year. No one ever anticipated or ever imagined we would be in this situation. It feels strange to be here. Our sanctuary is almost empty, and we feel a deep sadness of not being able to gather together in person. And yet, as you all join us from your homes, some of you alone, others in the company of a few family members, we are all together and united in this moment, united through the miracle of technology, united in our hearts and in our prayers. There has been no time in recent memory which has been so collectively fraught with loss, fear, anxiety, and such a deep sense of fragility. We come to Rosh Hashanah this year bearing a lot in our hearts and in our minds, and perhaps more than ever before, we long for prayer, for comfort, for healing, and for hope. Many of us feel lonely. Some of us are struggling with illness. Some of us are mourning. And we feel very deeply the absence of a loved one. Some of us are experiencing financial stress or other stresses. We're all deeply concerned about everything that is going on here and around the world. We invite you to hold each other, even in our physical separateness and distance. We invite each one of you to participate and pray and expand your soul. It certainly feels strange to be gathering and praying in this way, but I urge you not to waste the precious opportunity that the high holidays give us. We all need it, now more than ever. Forget your perfect offering, said Leonard Cohen. It won't be perfect, but what is? We hope the time we spend together over the next few days will be meaningful, transformative, and uplifting. We welcome you on this journey from now until the end of Yom Kippur and beyond into Sukkot and Simchat Torah. Together, let us lift our souls in prayer and in hope. We begin with a 13th century poem, Achot Ketana, familiar to many of you from the last several years. We sang it here at the opening of Rosh Hashanah. A poem about a little sister who cannot wait to leave behind the curses of the year that ends and to embrace the blessings of a new year. Tachel Shana u'virchotea, and so may it be for all of us. כגיבור, להדר וכלה מחלותיה, תקלשה beginning the מחזור, לב שלם on page 4, מזמור שיר ליום השבת.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, ולזמר לשמך יום.
להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות.
לעזור ועלנה ונעלה היום בחינוך, כי שימחתני ישמר ולעושים למיניות לפרוח השם צדיק כתמר יפרח, כרז בלבנון יזכה.
שתולים בבית אדוני, בקצרות אלוהינו יפריחו.
ינבון בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו.
להגיד כי ישעיה, צורי ולא הבלעת בו.
מקולות מים רבים אדירים ושפריים,
אדיר במרום אדוני, עדותיך נאמנו מאוד.
לביתך נאו הקודש, אדוני לאורך ימים.
לביתך נאו הקודש, אדוני לאורך ימים. If you're able to rise, we invite you to rise for Baruchu on page 5.
יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
6. אהבת עולם את ישראל, עמך אהבת מצוות. כן, אדוני לא שברנו כל נסיע.
ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבביך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך שובך וקומך, ושרתם למות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Continue on page 8, praying for redemption. The middle of the page, ומלכותו ברצון.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל. לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות בספר מלכותך רבניך. בוקע הים לפני משה, זה אלי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פד אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Continue 9, praying for peace. השכיבנו אדוני לשקט. פעמי למדתי לכם חוסר לזיקת שלומך ותקרנו עצה טובה מלפניך אשר למען שמך ובעדי. תסר מעלינו אויב דבר וחרב ומרבו ושש שטן מלפניך.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הבורא סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים ועל כל יושבי תבל.
Continue the Bamno, page 9. If you're able to rise, we invite you to rise for Veshamru. Bottom of page 9.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אות היא לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפל.
קום בחודש שופר at the top of page 10.
תקעו בחודש שופר בכסה ליום חגנו, כי חוק לישראל הוא משפט לאלוהי יעקב. תקעו בחודש שופר בכסה ליום חגנו, כי חוק לישראל הוא משפט לאלוהי יעקב.
חצי קדיש.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה קירותה וימליך מלכותה בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יש מרבה מברך לעלם ולעל העלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמר קודשה הוא לעילה לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
We'll have many opportunities to pray in silence during these Yamim Noraim and to pour out whatever is in our soul, all our hopes and our wishes, our petitions, asking God to inscribe us in the book of life. We now turn to a few moments of quiet prayer and begin to unpack all that which is in our heart. If you're able to turn towards the east, towards Yerushalayim, that would be a good thing.
We remain standing and turn to Vayichulu on page 18.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ לכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון קונה שמיים בארץ.
מגן אבות מדברו, מחיי מתים למאמרו, המלך הקדוש שאין כמוהו.
המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כי בם רצה להניח להם.
לפניו נעבוד ברעב ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד.
ועוד הברכות אל הודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי ומניח בקדושה, לעמדו שני עונג זכר למעשה בראשית.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, רצנה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, שים חלקנו בתורתך, שבנו מטובך ושמח נפשנו בשורתך, ותאר ליבנו לעובדך באמת, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו בה כל ישראל, מקדשי שמך, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Kaddish Shalem, page 19.
יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה.
אמן.
בעלמא דברה כאילו תבמליק מלכותי וחייכון ובמכונו כד כל בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן.
אמן.
יש מרבה מברך. לעולם ולעולם היה יתברך.
ברח וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמן לקודשה בריחו. לעילה, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה שביחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
תתקבל צאתו נכו ישראל קדמו נשמע ואמרו
אמן. שלמה רבה מנשמע וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו
We turn now to Kiddush on page 24 and invite everyone at home to find a cup, a Kiddush cup, and fill it with wine or grape juice and usher in this new year with gratitude and hope and longing, of course, and join us in Kiddush, page 24.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנו מכל עם ורוממנו מכל לשון וקידשנו במצוותיו ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה את יום השבת הזה ואת יום הזיכרון הזה יום זיכרון תרועה באהבה מקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ודברך אמת וקיים לעד ברוך אתה אדוני מלך על כל הארץ מקדש השבת וישראל ויום הזיכרון ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו והקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה לחיים.
חיים.
L'chaim.
I think those of us who've been here in this sanctuary, year after year, can see in the eye of our memory the hundreds of people who are holding each other and singing Shecheyanu and celebrating together this moment. So we hold that in our mind, in our heart, with love for each other and with a hope that we will be back soon together in person, celebrating and say Shecheyanu for being together in health again. We're now going to continue. If you happen to have at home an apple and honey, this is the time to make the wish or the prayer. Yehi Ratzon
מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו ואמותינו. May it be your will, אדוני our God and God of our ancestors, שתחדש עלינו שנה טובה ומתוקה, to renew for us a year of goodness, of sweetness, of health, and of life. ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי העץ.
אמן.
The walk to shul. I feel the quiet of the path and the stirring of my soul in my steps. I have encounters along the way. I pass an elderly gentleman. I walk south on West End Avenue to BJ, while he walks north to his shtibel, the one you know probably, down the stairs in the early 90s. When I first noticed him, he was alone. Now he walks with an aide and a walker. His shoulders are hunched. And when I spotted him a couple of Shabbatot ago, he, of course, was wearing a mask. I always wonder if it will be the last time I see him. I also pass a father and his adult daughter. They go to the same shtibel as the old man. I have imagined that it must not be easy to be that young woman and still walking to shul with her father, when the community probably imagined her married and with children. I always hope someday that I'll see her walking with a partner. That's been my quiet blessing for her. I don't know their names or if they see me the way I see them, but I feel connected to them. They are a part of my walk. When the Yamim Noraim arrive, the walk takes on a deeper quality. The profundity of this time of year weighs heavily on me. The anticipation of standing before our community, the reflections of the year that has passed, and my hopes for the future, all looking to God for help. I encounter so many of you on the way. You are not strangers to me, but beloved BJ members whose names I know, whose stories I know, who I've known over years. We see each other, wishing each other a Shana Tova, and there are always quiet blessings that I feel. I know Roli and Ari share these feelings. While only a minion of us have taken that walk to shul tonight, we are all on a walk, wondering how much time life will grant us, carrying burdens and blessings and the desire to be known by one another and by God. The sages of old love walks too. The encounters along the way and all that could happen with each step of the journey. A parable is told in Talmud Sota of a man who is walking in the blackness of night. He is afraid of the thorns and of the pits and of the thistles, which he can't see. And he is afraid of the wild animals and of the bandits that lurk at night. And he doesn't know which way he is walking. If a torch of fire comes his way, he feels safe from the thorns and from the pits and the thistles. But he is still afraid of the wild animals and of the bandits, and he still doesn't know which way he is walking. Once the light of dawn rises, he is safe from the wild animals and the bandits, which no longer roam the roads, but he still doesn't know which way he is walking. If he arrives at a crossroads and recognizes the way, he is saved from all of them. While the rabbis of the Talmud lived a radically different existence than we, they certainly understood what it feels like to be lost in the darkness and afraid of things that can harm us, the small stuff that poke and stick us and cause little wounds, the big threats, real and perceived, which take us by surprise or that we anticipate with such anxiety, always waiting for the next shoe to drop. The rabbis understood what it feels like to lose our sense of safety and security, physically and spiritually shattered, not knowing which path will lead us home or to our desired destination. Whether walking down West End Avenue or any other road, each of us are walking our own paths. We're looking for the torch, and we're praying for the sun to rise, so that when we arrive at a crossroads, we can affirm who we are, where we are going, and to step onto the path full of hope in what is possible and strength for what lies ahead. 5780 was a dark year. From the fraying of our democracy to the natural disasters that expose the impact of climate change, the brutal and controlled dehumanization of Black people in our country, and the unchecked cancer of racism born from the legacy of slavery. The COVID pandemic has killed almost 200,000 people, or perhaps today we actually hit that number in this country, and 1 million worldwide. It has laid bare the inequities between white people and Black, brown, and indigenous people in our city and country in ways that cannot be ignored. Our way of life has shifted, how we connect to community, how we work or don't work, and go to school or don't go to school, and even if we leave our homes at all. Tichlei shana v'kileloteha, let the year and her curses come to an end. And as we welcome in 5781, we pray that it comes with its blessings. Tachel shana uvirchoteha. But blessings just don't arrive on their own. We have to cultivate them. We have to search for them and take the risk to bring them forth in the darkness. For the rabbis, the arrival of light is not based on the natural ebb and flow of day to night and night to day. Light is connection. Light is commitment. Light is mitzvot. Light is Torah. Light is service to each other and to God. There's another story from the Midrash on Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, that literally sheds some light on this idea. Abba Tachna the pious was entering the city on Erev Shabbat at dusk, carrying a bundle over his shoulder, when he came across a man afflicted with boils lying at the crossroads. "Rabbi, do right by me and carry me into the city," said the man. He said to himself, "If I abandon my bundle here to carry this man that has all my valuables, how will I support my household? But if I abandon this afflicted man, I will forfeit my life." What did he do? He allowed the good inclination, the Yetzer HaTov, to prevail and carried the afflicted man into the city. He then returned for his bundle and entered the city just at sunset. Everyone in the city was astonished and exclaimed, "Is this Abba Tachna, the pious?" He too felt uneasy in his heart and said, "Do you think that I perhaps desecrated Shabbat?" At that time, the Blessed Holy One caused the sun to shine, as it is written in Malachi, "But for you who fear my name, shall the Sun of Righteousness arise to bring healing." Abba Tachna, out on his walk, encounters someone in need. He wrestles with how to respond to the ill man and protect his valuables without desecrating Shabbat. Abba Tachna chooses love of a human being over his concerns and helps the man. When he enters the city, the people look at him in dismay. The sun is nearly down, but God affirms the choice that Abba Tachna has made. God lets the sun shine to delay the arrival of Shabbat and shows that when we are responsive to another human being in need on the crossroads, we bring on the light of righteousness. And indeed, among all the devastation this past year, the torches burned. Not torches of hate and white nationalism, though those torches burn, but torches of compassion and love held by doctors and nurses and EMTs and home health aides and delivery people and so many frontline workers. They, you, tended to the most vulnerable amongst us in hospitals and supported all of us who have been in our homes. So many mitzvot have been performed to keep us connected as a community. Calls made to one another, care packages for Rosh Hashanah delivered, food delivered for people who were ill or homebound, shivot attended on Zoom, small group connections, feeding the hungry, phone banking together to reclaim our votes, standing in solidarity together to declare Black Lives Matter, and on, torches lit over and over again. While our voices are not filling the sanctuary tonight, prayer and learning have always been at the center of this community, but all the more so during these times of separation physically, but spiritually deeply connected in the search for the light. We have been anchored in prayer morning and night, day in and day out, studying Torah and gaining strength, comfort, and hope from it, and also being agitated by it for all that is broken. And for those of you who have joined us on this path from a distance or are new to our community, who are all over the country and all over the world, we are so glad you are with us looking for the light. One last story from the Baal Shem Tov about being on the path. A king had an only son and wanted him to master different fields of knowledge and to experience various cultures. So he sent him to a far-off country supplied with a generous quantity of silver and gold. Far away from home, the son squandered all the money until he was left completely destitute. In his distress, he resolved to return to his father's house, and after much difficulty, he managed to arrive at the gate of the courtyard to his father's palace. But so much time had passed that he had actually forgotten the language of his country, and he was unable to identify himself to the guards. In utter despair, he began to cry out in a loud voice, and the king, who recognized the voice of his son, went out to him and embraced him and welcomed him home. We start our walk on the 1st of Elul. Every year, we are like the sun, so far away from God, who of course is the king in the story, so far away from whom we need to be. We don't recognize ourselves. We don't recognize our country. We don't have the words to bridge the distance, to connect with God, to find the faith, to do the spiritual work, to admit our shortcomings, to aspire to be who God calls us to be in this world, to believe we are not reliving the same story over and over again. We are broken. The world is broken. But as the sage Leonard Cohen sings, ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. It is an imperfect Yamim Noraim. We may not be taking that walk to shul this year, but we are all on a walk trying to find our way in the darkness. It will take all the searching we have, all the fire in our belly, all the torches of mitzvot. It will take the sun of Torah and the radiance of prayer. We have sparks of love and justice inside us. We have the glow of community. And when we arrive at the crossroads, we have a path to choose. May these Yamim Noraim help us find our ways to the light and find our way home. We turn now to Aleinu on page 25.
Please rise if you're able to. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל,
לתת גאולה מיוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה,
שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטש מים ויוסד עלינו.
הוא אלוהינו אינו אדם מלכנו ופסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו וידעתם. על כן נקבל לך אדוני אלוהינו.
יכרעו ויפולו ויעמדו ויקרבו. תורתך אדוני
ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
We turn now to Mourner's Kaddish on page 26. Of course, this time of year is a very, very heavy and hard time to be in mourning and to experience loss. And so we hold everyone in this sensitive time, whether you're marking a yahrzeit or in mourning, with a lot of love and comfort. Mourner's Kaddish, page 26.
יתגדל ויתקדש השם רבה.
אמן.
בעלמא דברה כראותה וימליך מלכותה, חייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן.
Amen.
יהא שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו. לעילה לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova to everyone.
שלום, שנה טובה.
שלום, שנה טובה.
We want to remind everyone that all High Holy Day services will be live streamed and can be viewed on the BJ website at bj.org, HHD Live, in addition to Facebook Live on the B'nai Jeshurun and Family Life and Learning pages. The schedule of services is all on the website, and BJ members have received emails with all the times of services. Tomorrow morning we'll start at 9:30, 9 o'clock services for the littlest ones, 10 for the medium ones, and 11 for family services. And BJ members have the opportunity to take that walk to shul or take that walk home from shul before and after every service, and all that information was in the BJ member email. We hope you'll avail yourself of that opportunity to be on sidebar. We also, for BJ members, have opportunities, one for individuals or families to come have a moment before the Ark between Rosh Hashanah and Hoshana Rabbah. And the same will be true. We'll have small groups for BJ members to gather for Tashlich. All the information is on our website. And of course, as we anticipate the fast of Yom Kippur, we have an annual campaign to support the West Side Campaign Against Hunger, which feeds thousands upon thousands of people who are food insecure, of which there are many, many more in this time. So please, our neighbors need our help, and we hope everyone will consider making a donation by bringing a check to the BJ Community House, to the sanctuary when you visit the Ark, or donate online to WISCA. Donation box will be located at the security desk on 89th Street, and then the back of the sanctuary on 88th Street. And just a reminder that tomorrow night services are at 7, and Sunday, in addition to this service at 9:30 and all family and children's services, there is a mindfulness service for Rosh Hashanah led by Rabbi Shuli Passau, Rabbi Mark Margolius, and Cantor Dave Mintz. I think that's it. Let's end with Yigdal on page 28.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, נמצא וענד אל מציאותו, נמצא וענד אל מציאותו.
אחד ואין יחיד כייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו.
קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון בן ראשית לראשיתו, ראשון בן ראשית לראשיתו.
הינו אדון עולם וכל נוצר, יורם גדולתו ומלכותו, יורם גדולתו ומלכותו.
שפע נבואתו, נתנו אנשי סגולתו, ותפארתו, אנשי סגולתו, ותפארתו.
לא קם בית ישראל כמו שעוד נביא ומביט את אמונתו, נביא ומביט את אמונתו.
תורת אמת נתן לעמו אל עליית נביאונם ביתו, עליית נביאונם על ביתו.
Ay,
סתרנו מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו בקדמתו
גומר איש חסד כמפעלו נותן לרשע רע כרשעתו נותן לרשע רע כרשעתו
ישתחרר את ימין
ושכנו
לפתות מחקקת ישועתו לפתות מחקקת ישועתו
מתים יחייב ברוח חסדו ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו
זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים. God who remembers with compassion all your creatures for life. We come before you on this Rosh Hashanah, strange, challenging. We come carrying so much in our hearts and in our minds. We come looking for compassion, for hope, for comfort, for health, for life. May we feel your presence in these days as we look for some light. Show us through the cracks the possibility, the opportunity, the sign that we can indeed transform our lives and transform our world. We know that we have to do so much work, each one of us, to become who you want us to become. More loving, more compassionate, more just, more patient, more embracing. Help us on these days of soul searching to be able to see ourselves in truth and honesty, to find the courage and the determination to change our world, to bring justice and to bring peace and to bring light. We need your help now more than ever before in recent memory. We ask you to be there with us and for us and to bless us on this journey in these challenging and strange and difficult times. Each one of us. Adonai עוז לעמו ייתן. אדוני יברך את עמיו בשלום. שבת שלום, שנה טובה.
שנה טובה.